Hey folks, Jackdaw here with a wonderful update on Dragon Age Absolution, the upcoming Netflix animated series set in the Dragon Age universe. Just last week, the show has been confirmed to officially hit Netflix on December 9th, and Netflix has just released a fantastic official trailer, as well as many other incredibly exciting details, like the characters, voice cast, plot synopsis, a release date, and so much more. So everybody get your tinfoil hats on and let's dive straight into this very thrilling update. We're going to go over all the news details first, and then we will break down this trailer shot by shot. So first up, we have an absolutely stunning key art poster featuring our beautiful party of heroes centered around this blood magic powered artifact known as the Circulum Infinitus, the exact relic that our heroes will be chasing after throughout the show. Now, thanks to CBR, we can put names to faces as the publication revealed each of our main heroes' names, backstories, and even their voice actors, as well as the main two villains. Kimberly Brooks, who we all know played Ashley Williams in Mass Effect, is Miriam, our protagonist, a pragmatic elven mercenary who escaped enslavement in Tevinter. Miriam is closed off to many who know her, but her heroic nature shines through when she's forced to confront the nation that destroyed her life and the man at the heart of her misery. Matthew Mercer, who needs no introduction, is Fairbanks, a veteran freedom fighter who we witnessed in Dragon Age Inquisition. Fairbanks leads our heroes with a warm-hearted sense of adventure, a pair of daggers, and a dashing smile to boot. Chloe Price, Aloy, and Tiny Tina's Ashley Birch, who also needs no introduction, is Quidian, a bubbly Qunari mage with a penchant for explosions. Quidian is an open-hearted, easily distracted blabbermouth who can level a building or cure a hangover, depending on the situation. Sumili Montano, who was our American Inquisitor's voice actor, and Noreen Kandros in Mass Effect, is Hera, an idealistic mage. Hera hopes to rekindle her relationship with Miriam while advancing her relentless crusade against Tevinter, but a terrible secret will put them both at risk. Very enigmatic. Pulp Fiction famed Phil Lamar is Roland. Despite his effortless demeanor, the charming Roland possesses unmatched grit. When disaster looms and all seems lost, Roland is as sure as the blade he wields. She-Ra acclaimed Keston John is Lachlan, a dwarven lord of fortune. Lachlan is a gruff fighter, a brawn brawler, a complete glory hound, and just enough of a coward to make sure he stays alive. Josh Keaton, known for his role in Voltron Legendary Defender, is Rizarin. Born to privilege and plagued by tragedy, Rizarin sees himself as a good man in a wicked world. Intelligent and charismatic, Rizarin is determined to build a better future for everyone in Tevinter, no matter the cost. Of course, one of our antagonists in the show. And lastly, we have Amara from Borderlands 3's Zera Fazel is Tassia. Dutiful and hardworking, Tassia turns a blind eye to everything that doesn't meet her moral standards. But even she won't be able to ignore the sins of Tevinter or Rizarin forever. So CBR have also gone on to report further that Dragon Age Absolution Season 1 consists of 6 episodes, each running at 30 minutes. Not paying it too much attention, but with the fact that they do mention Season 1, does that mean that the team have plans for a Season 2 if Dragon Age Absolution is of course successful and meets Netflix's standards? Marguerite Scott serves as the showrunner of the animated series, and Scott also writes the series with May Catt and Tim Sheridan, with Ki Young Bae serving as director. Now, Marguerite actually shared further about the production of the show on their own blog. A few of the highlights include, in spring 2019, several ideas were pitched to Netflix and BioWare, and the very particular pitch that Absolution now serves was the one that Marguerite never expected BioWare and Netflix to pick. When Marguerite got the job, she replayed and rewatched everything she could get her hands on. Thanks to all you Dragon Age lore keepers out there. Hi, it's me, I'm the problem. Jokes aside, thank you very much, Marguerite, for checking out us fellow Dragon Age lore keepers over here on YouTube. In fall 2019, Marguerite got to bring out the incredibly talented Tim Sheridan and May Catt, and their amazing writer's assistant, Grace Deep Waldschmidt. They brought so much of themselves to these stories. They wanted to make something fans could be proud of, and the show is absolutely about wonderfully flawed characters. Bear that in mind when I break down the trailer. And so, after 3.5 years, Absolution has all came together. Marguerite wishes to see us all in Tevinter, of course, the setting of the show. Speaking of which, let's explore the plot of Dragon Age Absolution, as shared by Netflix on their YouTube trailer description, and also a little bit more by CBR. So, the YouTube Netflix description said, "Welcome to Miriam's story. Based on BioWare's video game franchise Dragon Age Absolution explores mature subjects concerning freedom, power, and corruption set against the backdrop of adult animation. With great great power at stake, a group of mages, fighters, and thieves go head to head against a sinister force possessing a dangerous artifact. Set in the world of BioWare's award-winning video game franchise and built in collaboration with BioWare's creative team, including head writers and lead creative directors, fear, guilt, pain, can Miriam push aside her feelings to complete her mission, or will the trauma looming over her past finally catch up with her? Nothing is absolute. P.S. If you've read this far, see you on Dragon Age Day, or maybe sooner. Excuse me, sooner? My eyes are peeled. What is Netflix teasing right here? Is this a Netflix tease? Is this a BioWare tease? Who knows, but we should certainly stay vigilant. Now, CBR reported, when a heist against the most powerful man in Tevinter goes south, an elven mercenary named Miriam is forced into a desperate fight for survival. An official synopsis for Absolution reads, now, to save herself and her friends, Miriam will have to confront the tragic past she's spent a lifetime trying to escape. Well, that certainly gives us a great idea on the premise of the story and what is about to go down. Now that we have an inkling on the story and many insights on each of the characters, it's time to break down this trailer shot by shot. So let's get straight into this. The trailer opens up with a beautiful midnight shot of what most likely seems to be somewhere in Tevinter. We speculated a lot about this location in my previous trailer breakdown. Is it Antiva? Is it the Anderfels? It's most likely going to be Tevinter, one of its many cities on the nation's enormous coast. Now, lightning strikes and we are introduced to Miriam, our main elven protagonist. She stumbles against a wall and is reminded of her past as a slave, recalling that she doesn't remember a time when she wasn't someone's property. The only mother she ever knew was the woman who owned her, and no one ever saves people like her. We see flashbacks of a younger Miriam who is struck by her slave master. We're then once again shown this mysterious magic binding ritual scene that was previously witnessed in the initial trailer. A close-up side profile of Miriam is shown as the trailer transitions. We can see the marking on her left eye that most likely resembles a slave marking as previously speculated. The location looks oddly Tevinter with its sharp point wall bits. At some kind of outside midnight city location, Fairbanks approaches Miriam and Roland, offering the pair a job. It would seem that this adventure starts with Fairbanks perhaps acting on behalf of the Inquisition, because as we know, he is recruited as an Inquisition agent by the Inquisitor when working for him in the Emerald Graves. The scene cuts to Roland surrounded by the majority of the group in a forest. He says, 3 experienced fighters, 2 mages and yourself. This job must be dangerous. Suddenly, Miriam climbs a tall building, looking through a window at what we assume would be this artifact the gang are intending to steal. Fairbanks or Roland or perhaps somebody else says, we need to steal an artifact. Another person then introduces the artifact as the Circulum Infinitus. This could be one of our heroes. However, a fair few people in the community believe that this could be Dorian. Now, while I see where they're coming from, I think that this is actually Rizarin, our Tevinter mage antagonist, probably marveling at this powerful relic. As a transition slide, we see this really cool blueprint map, assuming the plan in motion to steal the relic. Next up, we hear Miranda Raisin's iconic voice returning as Cassandra Pentagast, joined with Liliana and our heroes in what I definitely believe to be Skyhold's Rotunda, tying Absolution directly to Inquisition's narrative. Cassandra goes on to explain the Circulum Infinitus, describing it as an extremely dangerous artifact fueled by blood magic, as we see it transform into 2 dragons. Cassandra cannot recall any good coming from something powered by murder. Now pause 1 minute, let's just talk about Cassandra and Liliana's presence and what it means for the show. In my Dragon Age Absolution extended thoughts and discussion video, I explored the importance of the Red Templars' involvement in Absolution, because the last time we saw the Red Templars, they were scattered to the 4 winds after their leader Corypheus was killed, which happened at the end of Inquisition. The Red Templars' mere presence directly connected Absolution to Inquisition's narrative, and now we have the left and right hand of the Divine coordinating with our new Absolution heroes. It seems even more likely now that this show is set during or perhaps slightly after Inquisition's base narrative. Definitely not post-Trespasser in my opinion. Perhaps it's between that 2-year gap before Trespasser's events and after Corypheus was defeated. Regardless, the show certainly has many connections to Inquisition's story, and that is also further proven by Fairbanks' role within the party. I feel like most likely now it's fair to say that our group are working on behalf of the Inquisition as direct field agents. Also, the artifact itself seems even more like a Magralin as I previously speculated. For those who don't know, a Magralin is a Tevinter device empowered by blood magic that dates back to the ancient times when the Dreamers commanded the Fade. This Circulum Infinitus fits the exact same purpose. Moving on, Rizarin uses blood magic from a few dead Red Templars to fuel the device and then demands that he will not let anyone take the circulum from him as he grabs the relic. In like a second of a second, someone fires a crossbow bolt at Miriam, Fairbanks and Hera as they walk through what looks like a dock or a warehouse. Now I know what you're thinking, crossbow must be Varric, right? Well, I'm not so sure. If the squad are working with the Inquisition, why would Varric shoot them? Plus, that crossbow in my opinion looks a bit too small to be Bianca. Who knows, maybe it wasn't a lethal shot to take them down, but to get their attention. Next we have a lot of mayhem, so bear with me. Quidian screams, shit, 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 while being chased by a rage demon in a Tvinter chamber. Honestly, huge hard relate. Hera casts a beam spell in what looks like a chamber within, with a bubbled shield behind her. Lachlan swings his battle axe at some undead, perhaps in the Deep Roads or also in this Tvinter chamber. And then we finally see our other villain, Tassia, as she screams fire as Red Templars release their arrows at Miriam in this larder factory that was seen in the initial previous trailer. Fairbanks decks a bald man like smack down right in the face, breaking a few of his gold teeth, while Miriam looks dead shocked, holding some kind of letter. An undead breaks loose as Lachlan tells Fairbanks to lockpick faster, otherwise they are all dead. I assume the gang are breaking into a vault or this Tvinter chamber to get this artifact. Miriam slashes Rizarin in the shoulder as blood pours out. She is then thrown against a wall with a powerful spell. In a massive fury, Quidian casts an explosive spell, its outcome currently unknown. Lots and lots of mayhem. And then the group is seen on some cliff face as Miriam says to Hera that people like them don't change the world. Hera says that actually it's people like Miriam who never try, referring to each of these characters' flawed nature yet good intentions at heart, and also Miriam's desire to constantly run away from her past. Miriam is shocked and sad by this revelation, and then we see Miriam running through some trance-like sequence as Hera continually says she has to stop running from the past, and if she can't do that now, Hera worries that maybe Miriam never will. Obviously, as confirmed from the previous plot synopsises, Miriam is still running from her life as a slave and her past trauma. This entire narrative is about her putting an end to something finally in order to seek peace before she loses herself and her friends to her past life. It would seem like Rizarin is one of the people responsible for that. In this next sequence, he's speaking to someone, probably Miriam, saying, "Together we can make Tvinter a better place for everyone," showcasing his intention with the artifact, which seems like some typical Tvinter macabre plotline to eradicate everybody or use blood magic for some nefarious scheme. Then we get a few more heroic scenes, like Hera riding a horse through a forest and Miriam slashing an undead. And then we see a pride demon grabbing this artifact, which I assume is Rizarin's plan, whatever this would cause. I feel like it refers to that pride spirit we saw in the previous trailer. Perhaps this exact spirit or state of a spirit is what this pride demon will become once it connects with the artifact. Maybe it's like a pride demon in a human body or something of that ilk. Either way, it seems like Rizarin's plan is going accordingly well. Then we get this shot of a spell or ritual being cast in this sphere room that we saw before. Perhaps the creation of the pride spirit, perhaps to summon the pride demon in the first place, it's really anyone's guess. Miriam declares that she will never be a slave again as everything descends into chaos. Quidian charges and casts an explosive spell. Rizarin attacks Lachlan and Roland in that larder. Roland shoots an arrow at an explosive. Fairbanks leaps forward at an enemy with his two daggers in the Deep Roads or this Tvinter chamber, and Miriam wields her two Kopush as she faces somebody outside in a Tvinter city. Most likely Rizarin, potentially at the end of it all, who knows. Now before I wrap this all up, we have even more close-up shots of our team and rivals that CBR has posted, and I will continue to share these that continue on. The Netflix has confirmed that this story will of course revolve around stealing this artifact that's going to tick off the most powerful man in Tvinter, sending our heroes on a scramble for survival. Netflix promises new characters inspired by Dragon Age lore, familiar roles and races, and quote special surprises. We've already got Cassandra, Liliana, maybe Dorian's in the mix, speculation that could have been Varric, but we have even more special surprises to anticipate. All in all, this trailer sold the show to me. Now I was already obviously 110% down for Absolution with the first trailer, however this one has actually sold the vision, direction, the beautiful art style, and of course the characters, and I'm immediately just ready to start consuming all of it. It comes out of course December 9th, which is just a day after the flipping Game Awards. So if we're not going to see Dragon Age Dreadwolf at the Game Awards, doesn't matter because the very next day we've got Dragon Age Absolution dropping on Netflix. 6 episodes, 30 minutes per episode. If we do get Dragon Age Dreadwolf at the Game Awards, we are going to be absolutely spoiled for Dragon Age on the 9th of December. We're going to have so much to talk about on my channel, if that of course is the case. In any regard, I would love to know your thoughts on the show, anything I missed in this trailer, and what is your anticipation of these characters, the story, and any other plot beats surrounding it. Of course, I'll be keeping my eyes very, very peeled from now till Dragon Age Day and see what else BioWare or Netflix has in store. Seems like something else is coming. I don't know if that's just an Absolution. I assume it is, considering Netflix were the ones to post that in their YouTube description. But of course, you're already in the right place the moment we do hear something regarding Dragon Age. Until the next one, I have been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.